The scrimmage went good for us from a health standpoint. We were able to tackle and had a physical scrimmage. We had 100 plays, and I was pleased. I thought the defense played really, really well. Some guys made plays, and we were able to run some of our offense and have a good day. I thought we kicked the ball well. I thought we punted the ball well. For the most part, other than Zach in our special teams, those are all new faces out there, and I thought Taylor did a good job of directing the black offense for the first time being out there. So overall, it's a good day for us, and the real work starts now. Finish up in the classroom over the next 2 weeks, and get in the weight room and get ready for a great summer.
When you come back in August, do you anticipate just opening up jobs on the offensive line?
We've got some guys that are in there. We have 7 guys without watching the tape that we feel like can roll in, and they're in pretty good position. But there'll be some spots that there'll be real competition for. But there's some guys obviously that are pretty solid there.
So your inability to run it like you want to run it today, that's not a red flag for you?
No, we're in a divided unit.
Right.
We sub a lot. We're doing a lot of different packages, and so there's a kind of a minimal opportunity for us to be as diverse as we want to. And as in the case in most springs, toward the end, there's an advantage for the defense. They've seen the same plays for 2 months, and but they've got to get lined up and make plays also. So we're an improved team. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but it's a little more difficult at times to function in a spring game than what you'd want it to be. We got the ball down the reverse one time. The young man that was flipping the ball has probably never done that. We had an exchange problem down the goal line. Some of that's going to happen in the spring, but overall I thought their effort was good. I really liked Jarrell Owens and Brailford. I liked the pressure that we were getting from those guys, young guys that need to make plays for us, obviously filling big shoes with Bean and Oddball.
So in 14 previous practices, you saw enough positive things on the offensive line that you feel
Sure.
the summer?
Yeah, no question. They're much improved, and Chris Carson, we didn't let him run in the second half, so they're better. We've got a long ways to go, but we've improved.
Any thought to maybe not split the offensive line because you wanted to get them even another day of work together?
We thought a lot about it, and for the most part, we had the main group together, but we were really trying to facilitate the fans and do the best we could to give them a game and let them see some of the players. But there's a number of guys that played out there today that really haven't been on the scene yet.
Beyond the 5 starters, Mike, who are the 2 others that you feel like are in that 7?
Well, we have the guys that are returning from last year, and then Marcus Keys is making some strides. And obviously our junior college player, Big Larry, is making some strides. But those guys played out there for the first time. And I know Marcus made several mistakes that is fairly typical for a first-year player at that position.
Cornelius, is he your backup guy?
Well, we really haven't decided. Throughout the spring, John and Taylor both have played well. There's been scrimmages where John has rushed for close to 100 yards. And so I mentioned to the offensive staff that after the first week in August, we need to establish who our number 2 quarterback is, just from the standpoint that it's really difficult to get 3 guys ready to play in a game.
You look like your DBs covered pretty well. There weren't a lot of guys running wide open.
I thought they did, and we had a number of new players out there because we really had 6 defensive starters that weren't on the field today, and they were split up just like we were on offense, and I thought they were pretty tight. We had a couple pass interference calls, but 24 and 25 are 2 new guys, and I thought they competed and played fairly well. And for the most part, the defense was in the right spot.
Your specialists are out there every day, but you don't see them much. So you got consistently good reports that this Amendola guy can kick it like he did today.
He's kicking very well. He's got a strong leg, and I see him in warm-ups, and then you know, we kicked in a couple of our scrimmages, and we do PAT field goal every day. So he had a good day today, and one advantage that he has is a very powerful leg. So we're excited about his future. You know, he's a walk-on, another one of our walk-ons from Philadelphia. Came a long way and has done very well up to this point.
You mentioned after the season last year, Mike, that you really felt you needed a kickoff guy. Is he that guy, perhaps?
Well, he's showing signs of strength and being able to drive the ball. Obviously, he'll have to have a good summer, and then in August, we need to find a player that can kick the ball to the end zone and at least get the ball to the goal line. And that's one position that's fairly easy to recognize because you line them up and kick, and whoever can kick it the farthest ends up being the kicker. So that should take care of itself in August.
Like Yasir Kim played really well defensively. He had a lot of tackles. Has he been performing well throughout the spring? Yasir Kim.
Oh, yeah, he's made some plays. He's gotten better. His effort's been good, and he's turning the corner a little bit, maturing, toughening up.
We're missing two starting linebackers for parts of the spring. And has it been consistent from these young guys, the Kevin Henrys and Magruders and Akems, that they've had a good showing this spring? Or?
They haven't been very consistent, but they've had a good spring for their age. You know, they're immature. They don't have much experience, but they're showing some toughness. There's scrimmages that we had earlier this spring where they were out of place quite a bit, and our offense turned it into a track meet. So they improved and played very well today without me watching the tape.
You mentioned Terrell Owens and Jordan Bradford. What do you see out of those guys?
Well, they're physical. They've shown signs of improvement. Their attitude's been good. I think Jarrell has got a chance to impact a little earlier in the season than Jordan, just based on his strength. But Jordan's coming on, and I like where they're at for the youth.
So even if you don't, was pretty active too.
Trey has had a good spring. I mentioned him to the team last week. I thought that in the scrimmage we had a week ago that Chris Carson and Trey Carter were the two players that made the most progress over the last 2 weeks during that time. And
So
Trey's a young guy.
Even if you don't have NFL guys, that at least obvious NFL guys yet, on the pressure group, you think collectively they can match what you've had?
I don't think they can match those two guys we had. You're talking about maybe a potential first-round pick in a late-round draft. I'm not saying that they couldn't at some point in their career, but they're certainly not in that ballgame right now.